Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order can emerge, a new era.
It's a new world order. The Bush Boys coming. Check it.
Check out this video. This is an interview with the New York Port Authority police chief, who was apparently down at the WTC building at the time of the building's collapse. And where was he? Well, even he can't remember where he was and had to ask his advisor. Check this out, and do check the very interesting body language of these people. Now, why would he be acting so nervously, and why would he forget where he was? Could it be that he was down in the basement? It's where they found all the gold and the trucks that were being loaded? Have a listen for yourself. But make of it what you will.
We are here with a couple of guests who can give us at least some insight into what's going on there. This is Chief William Hall of the Port Authority Police of New York. As we told you earlier, the Port Authority Police have jurisdiction over the Trade Center. And also Alan Rice, who's the director of the World Trade Center. Gentlemen, if I get you just to stand like that. First of all, Chief, do we have any idea of how many people are in there?
We have no idea. Now, as you know, it was pretty much rush hour time that this took place this morning, so the numbers we don't know yet. We tried to get almost everybody out that we could early on.
After the first two crashes, when the planes hit the building, there was roughly about, I would say, what, an hour and 15 minutes between that and the point where the South Tower collapsed. How many people you were able to get out? Do you have any idea?
We don't know. We tried to do a floor-by-floor search. New York City Police, the Fire Department, Port Authority Police, best they could, tried to get everybody out. But as you know, there were people still coming out after that building came down.
Do you have any idea how many people would normally be in the building at 8:30 or north?
This is the director of the
There's possibly 10,000 people in each tower. 10,000 people in each tower would typically be in there on a normal business day. And we get about another 5,000 visitors during the course of the entire day. So by 8:30, 9 o'clock, the building should have been full.
Okay, so in other words, by 8:30 to 9, you figure the building would have been approaching full capacity with the workers. So we are talking about roughly 10,000 people
Per tower.
Per tower.
In 2011, a coin dealership ran a television ad for a 10th anniversary 9/11 commemorative coin that was allegedly clad in .999 pure silver, actually recovered from vaults beneath the ashes of Ground Zero. That commercial provoked retired New York Police Department Captain Tom DeBriscoe to tell New York's Daily News in late January that it was pure bull. In the aftermath of the devastating attacks on 9/11, DeBriscoe was assigned to the Office of Emergency Management to assist in recovering precious metals buried in a 2-story vault beneath the rubble of World Trade Center, Building 4, and transferred it to another vault in Brooklyn Naval Yard World. He said the operation began on October 16, 2001 and lasted for 2 days. DeBriscoe reminisces about the moment he walked into the vault. He said, "Walking into that vault was like a scene out of the James Bond movie Goldfinger. Endless, neat stacks of gold, silver and platinum bars, $500 million worth." According to the Daily News article, "We never recovered any precious metals," said DeBriscoe, "so it boils my blood that anyone would sell a fake coin claiming to be made with silver recovered from Ground Zero."
At this point, obviously, you've got a situation, these towers having collapsed, that is bordering on chaotic. What's the first challenge? What are you doing at this moment? I've seen emergency workers try to go in there after the first couple crashes and come running back out. What are you trying to do now?
I guess the next step is between the chief and myself and my staff. We're going to go assess the condition and determine whether it's safe or not to send personnel into the building to continue looking and evacuating people.
Are there any emergency workers in there now?
We don't know that.
We don't know.
If they were in there now, presumably they would have been trapped in there from the earlier.
It's possible. It's possible from what we saw happen there. Yeah, very much so. We were trapped ourselves in the building in the basement. We were the building collapsed when we came out of that. But yes, sure
you were in the basement of the South Tower.
No, we were in the basement of Building 5, 6.
In the basement of the South Tower.
No, we were in the basement of Building 5, 6.
Okay.
Right, and I was in Building 5. We had to dig our way out to get out.
You dug your way out. What was that like?
Hello? Did he just say he dug his way out of this mess?
Scary.
Scary, but I was a volunteer fireman for years, so you learn not to panic.
Well, listeners, considering they just dug their way out of the basement of WTC-6, isn't it a little strange that the guy's suit is completely spotless and their shirts are whiter than white? Everybody that I've seen from Ground Zero on 9/11 does not look as clean as these guys. Is their story starting to smell like bullshit yet?
Now, the Daily News has since contacted the dealer of these coins, who responded by saying that they were in fact authentic. The company said they have a complete chain of custody for the merchandise and claim to have bought these items from a company that purchased them from a bank, storing silver bars, coins, etc. in the vaults under the WTC. The fate of nearly $1 billion worth of gold, silver and other precious metals stored beneath the WTC before 9/11 continues to baffle many. To this day, only $230 million has officially been accounted for. All of that was retrieved from the previously mentioned two-level, 6,000 square foot vault maintained by the Bank of Nova Scotia. They reportedly lost $200 million in gold as a result of the attacks. However, other estimates suggest that there was an additional $750 million worth of precious metals that may have been stored in other vaults or hurriedly evacuated from the Nova Scotia vault before the skyscrapers came down.
What was the one last thing? What do you do right now to try to get to those people? How long before you get to those people?
We're going to have to wait and make the building safe. We have our engineers here, our law department here. We're going to make the building safe, then we're going to send in rescue teams. We're already breaking the men and women up into rescue teams, and they're ready to go once the building is declared safe of what's left.
And how soon before they're back in there?
We're going to try and do this right now, and I hope soon.
Is any part of the building still standing down there? We can't really see.
I can't see either. I can see what you see. I don't know.
Well, isn't that very strange? These guys just dug their way out of WTC-6, and now he says he doesn't know. He can't see. So he doesn't even know the extent of the damage. I thought they just said they dug their way out of the basement of WTC-6. So wouldn't you think he'd have a fair idea on what kind of damage has been done down there at Ground Zero?
How much of the building is
No,
left?
that's where we're going now, to assess the condition.
All right,
So
thank you.
very
We
much.
understand you have emergency work to do. We appreciate it very much taking the time out.
Meanwhile, some insist the official story is an unabashed lie, that another reason behind the 9/11 attacks was to pull off the biggest gold heist in history. One of the more outrageous claims along this vein comes from former mob boss Tony Gambino, who declared in a radio interview in 2007, "I know for a fact that Bush and other US government leaders had prior knowledge and helped organize 9/11. They did it for many obvious reasons, one being to instigate a war in Iraq, but they also did it to get their hands on the gold that was hidden below the WTC." Gambino claims that his grandfather's construction company built the WTC and installed underground vaults to warehouses vast quantities of gold, where it was later stolen on 9/11.
Mr. President, I do want to get right to the news of this week.
Sure.
The terrorism in Boston.
Yeah.
Many people have wondered if it took you right back to 9/11 when you heard it.
Well, at first, I was deeply concerned that there might have been a organized plot. I don't know all the facts. I don't think we all know all the facts, but I was deeply concerned that this could have been another highly organized attack on the country. And it still may be. I don't know the facts, but I do know that it's really hard to protect the homeland.